DKane, better known to his parents as Josiah, but to the internet masses as Mr. Confuzzled. Yep, the man who somehow went from plain old Texas boy to TikTok sensation at the age of 21. But let's be real, he wasn't just your average TikTok creator posting cute dance moves or relatable comedy sketches. Instead, this dude had a whole formula for fame. And what was his secret sauce, you ask? Thirst traps. Yep, those attention-grabbing, eyebrow-raising videos that make you wonder if the algorithm is just trolling us.
Sticking out your tongue for the picture. So pretty.
He would post videos aimed at capturing the gaze and likes of anyone scrolling through, making sure to present himself in the most striking way possible. But when that didn't give him the clout he craved, he decided to switch things up in a big way. That's when DKane became a gangster. Or at least, that's what he wanted everyone to believe. With a swagger straight out of a low-budget crime drama and a look meant to intimidate, he tried to craft an image that would set him apart.
Tip real sticky and moist. I'm playing.
It worked initially. He claimed to be from El Salvador, and he didn't stop there. He also said he was a member of MS-13, one of the most feared gangs in the world. It's a gang with a history drenched in blood, originating from Los Angeles and spreading across the Americas after Salvadorian members were deported post-Civil War.
All that stuff like, hey, where you from? You're like, bro, you know what it is? I got that 1 and that 3. You know what it, bro? DKane, I promise you, DKane. I'm not saying this in a bad way. You are not a member. Bro, honestly, Mara Trucha, all of that, they do not know who you are. So the moment you come impersonating something that you ain't, it's over for you, bro. I'm trying to put you on the right path, bro. I'm not hating on you. No, I'm not cloud chasing, none of that, because I'm the biggest. You know what it is, bro. But, like, bro, I'm telling you this for real, bro. Like, bro.
So DKane name-dropping this gang wasn't just an attempt to sound dangerous. It was meant to paint him as someone who lived and breathed street violence, a hardened guy who wouldn't think twice before making you regret crossing him.
Bro, I literally want to carry DKane like this, like a little baby, when it's in my shoulder, and I want to take him to Disneyland.
No, he's gonna let Chris do that before you, bro.
No, imagine pushing him on a stroller and then giving him the bottle, like, what do you want? Oh, what does baby want?
Hey, Edwin, does that sound familiar?
And I'll be like, do you want to go on this ride? What baby wants to go on this ride? He's gonna be like...
If his claims weren't enough, he also tried to back up his supposed affiliation by getting a 13 tattooed right in the middle of his forehead. As his fame grew, so did the scrutiny of his self-made legend. People started digging, and it didn't take long for the truth to come out. Turns out DKane wasn't from El Salvador. His ex-girlfriend and his own grandparents exposed this lie, revealing that he was actually from Mexico. So much for that Salvadorian backstory.
You don't speak Spanish.
You don't know my backstory, kid.
You don't know my backstory.
Bro, Chris knows the back pretty well, but he was
don't act like we're in a movie right now and you know my origin story.
You knew my origins. Oh, hell no. Hey, so you don't speak Spanish?
And let's be real, the 13 tattoos, it wasn't a mark of loyalty to some deadly gang. It was a prop in the grand theater of DKane's social media performance. The more people discovered about him, the clearer it became that this guy was nothing more than a character he had created. A tough, fearless gangster who existed only on TikTok. The fall from grace started becoming inevitable, but the extent of DKane's fakery was just beginning to surface. While DKane wanted people to buy into the idea he had a foot in the most dangerous streets, multiple sources began poking holes in his gangster narrative. His family, for example, were quick to refute his claims. They confirmed what many already suspected. He was just a regular kid from Texas with no ties to El Salvador or any gang, much less MS-13. Everything about his backstory was a meticulously woven lie, designed to make him look like someone to be feared. Instead, it made him look foolish.
I got other priorities, you know, Libby. Hey, but I'ma always love you and I love you, son. Huh? when you finna come visit your dad in Idaho, you know, try not to stay too far from me, little bro. You know I love you, son. You know I love your mother. I love everybody. Hey son, just check up on me a little more. You know your dad's getting old. Nah, I love you though. I see you doing your thing on the internet. I hear it.
Despite the mounting evidence against him, DKane doubled down on his act. On TikTok Live, he talked about a big game, going off about all the enemies he had, and how he wouldn't hesitate to settle scores in the streets. His performance became more elaborate as he tried to cling to his tough guy image. But the more he acted out, the more it became clear that this was all a charade. A desperate attempt to convince the world that he was someone he wasn't. When DKane first teamed up with Low Gone Breezy, things really took off in a way he probably never anticipated.
There's a whole drawer of caterpillars. He's like, let me throw these on today.
I'm confuzzled.
Bro, you heard him. I'm trying to build a puzzle.
Low, for those unfamiliar, is a TikTok personality famous for hosting live roasting sessions, and he's pretty ruthless about it. His humor isn't lighthearted or playful. He goes straight for the jugular, dragging people through the mud for the entertainment of his audience. When Low got his hands on DKane, it was like watching a lion play with a mouse. The two first connected on a TikTok Live, and the chemistry was undeniable. DKane may have walked into that live stream thinking he'd flex his tough persona, but he was about to get humbled in front of thousands of viewers. One of the first things Low zeroed in on was DKane's pink phone. Yes, the same pink phone that DKane apparently thought gave him a cute vibe.
I like to feel cute sometimes, little bro. What you gonna do about me feeling pretty?
Bro, get at you?
And then bro said pretty. He could have said handsome or something. Oh, bro.
I like to feel cute sometimes.
Okay, you get it. You like to feel cute.
But for Low, this was pure gold. He didn't hold back, poking fun at how DKane liked to feel cute, while pretending to be a gangster. The roasts were merciless. At one point, Low mockingly suggested that DKane looked like he needed to be pushed around in a baby stroller, complete with a bottle in hand. The image was so hilariously degrading that viewers couldn't help but flood the comment section with laughter emojis.
I'm feeling sparkly tonight. How are you feeling tonight?
Sparkly?
Yo, glittery, glitter. What you know about that glitter?
I don't know nothing about none of that.
Oh, I know you don't.
But here's the thing, it worked. Despite the relentless mockery, or maybe because of it, DKane's audience grew exponentially. People loved the spectacle. His interactions with Low had this bizarre appeal, like a comedy show where DKane was the unintentional star. It's wild, but even though he was a laughingstock, the attention only fueled his fame, and DKane, being the opportunist that he is, ran with it. He leaned into the humor, making himself more palatable to viewers who found his fake toughness unintentionally funny. However, beneath this shiny comedic exterior, there was something much darker lurking. People got so caught up in the humor and the ridiculousness that they didn't see the red flags at first. DKane's fame, built on laughs and roasting, masked a far more sinister reality, and it wasn't long before the first signs of trouble began to show.
Oh, you were sleeping?
What happened?
Oh no, I'm just on live. I just wanted to see what you was doing.
Oh, you
But-
at the house?
Yeah, but I'll let you go back to sleep. But all right, I love you.
One of those signs came in the form of a viral incident that would expose the cracks in DKane's so-called gangster persona. It happened at a mall, a place where DKane probably never expected his street cred to be challenged so publicly. Someone approached him and snatched his chain right off his neck, and here's where the facade really started to crumble. DKane did nothing. Not a punch thrown, not even a shove. He just stood there, completely passive, as the thief walked away with his chain. The whole thing was caught on video and spread like wildfire. For someone who had built his image on being a fearless gangster, his reaction, or lack thereof, was a devastating blow to his credibility. People were quick to point out how ridiculous it was that a self-proclaimed street warrior couldn't even defend himself in a minor confrontation.
Oh, I'm 16. He's like, okay, that doesn't matter. As long as we don't tell anybody, you're gonna be in a...
And when Poncho, a TikToker and YouTuber known for pulling back the curtain on shady internet personalities, started looking into DKane, he probably didn't realize just how disturbing things would get. It all began with an interview that sent shockwaves through TikTok and beyond. The subject was one of DKane's ex-girlfriends, who had experienced firsthand the dark side of this so-called influencer. According to his ex, DKane wasn't just a troubled guy with a fake persona. He was violent. She recounted instances of physical abuse so vividly that it left listeners stunned.
I know I'm big. Everybody wants clout from me. You're not.
Okay, give me a second here.
You're not finna play it like that.
Okay, give me a second here. You showed her name, right? That's your ex's name?
I don't know what that is.
Right there? What does it say right there?
There was one incident where he slapped her, not in some ordinary heated argument kind of way, but so aggressively that he seemed to enjoy it, laughing afterward, like it was some sick joke. The laughter wasn't the worst part. No, the real horror came when she described how he would put her in headlocks during arguments. Then his ex revealed that DKane had been arrested not just for petty crimes, but for allegedly stabbing his own grandmother and grandfather.
He beats not only on females, he beats on his grandparents actually too. His grandma.
The abuelito?
Yeah, those charges, he says, oh, look at my charges. 2 of those charges are from his grandma and his grandpa for stabbing them. Okay? Yeah, y'all know.
Wait, why did he stab the abuelitos? What did they do?
All we know is that they were drunk or something like that. It's on his records or something.
The details are murky, but the charges, if true, paint a picture of someone far more dangerous than anyone realized. And while the physical violence was horrifying, what really made people's stomachs turn were the grooming allegations. DKane's ex was only 16 when she met him. Let that sink in, 16. And that wasn't some accidental age gap misunderstanding.
Allegedly, on this account?
Yes. It got bad. It got bad, but it wasn't like, oh, I was letting him beat me. I was also, being defensive.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna let no man beat me.
Yeah.
But yes, it got to the point where we got in this one big argument and he got mad. He actually broke my pink phone. The pink phone that his whole audio thingy, he broke that. 2, because he got caught cheating. And then 2, we got in this big argument. I literally pushed him not too hard. Like, bro, you're a midget. You can go flying. But I didn't push him that hard.
Yeah.
She made it clear that DKane knew her age from the very beginning. He didn't just accept it, he manipulated it. Instead of stepping away, he asked her to keep it a secret, whispering reassurances that it wouldn't matter soon, that she would be an adult before they knew it. It was calculated and insidious, a clear attempt to blur the lines between right and wrong in her mind. To think that someone who presented himself as a harmless online joker had this kind of predatory side was enough to make even his most diehard fans take a step back.
I literally asked him how old he was, and he was like, go look at my famous birthday. So I did, and then it said 20. I was like, you're 20. Oh, I was like, oh, I'm 16. He was like, okay, that doesn't matter.
But DKane's facade unraveled even more when Poncho laid out the evidence. He came prepared, armed with screenshots that left little room for denial. These weren't vague or open to interpretation. They were clear, explicit messages that DKane had sent multiple underage girls. In some of these texts, he straight up asks for photos. And not just any photos, foot pictures. It was bizarre, unsettling, and proof that he wasn't just acting out of ignorance, but with full awareness of what he was doing.
Turn around, I'm standing up by the couch, and he turns around, he looks at me, and then he literally slaps me so hard, he starts laughing. And
Damn. Like we're talking about.
Yes, like one of those competitive slaps.
Okay.
And he laughs and he's like, ah, ha, ha, like you're funny, like I could do it again, I can do it again, I wish I did it even harder. So from there, he was like, don't make me slap you. Like anytime we got into an altercation, he'll be like, don't make me slap you how I did last time. So that's why he has those bruises on his, I don't know if he showed you on the live, because I know I saw that he showed it on the live. But he has bruises on his chest from me, from him choking. Y'all, he's put me in a headlock 3 or 4 times to the point I couldn't breathe. And I told him to let go. And he was like, are you done yet? Are you done yet? I was like, I'm done, because he didn't want to meet.
One particularly revolting piece of evidence involved DKane's own stepsister, who was only 15 years old at the time. Poncho revealed messages that showed how DKane had communicated with her in ways that crossed every imaginable boundary.
Last breaking point was I had to go downstairs after begging him to stop talking to girls. 2 little girls, younger than me, to stop texting them and asking them for feet pictures. No, I haven't got to that point yet. Hold on. He Fellas, I woke up, went downstairs, and he's sleeping on the couch, and he's on the phone with a girl asleep while I'm upstairs sleeping.
It's hard to put into words just how deeply this revelation disturbed people. This wasn't a stranger or some distant acquaintance. This was family, someone he should have protected. Instead, he chose to manipulate, blurring the lines in a way that left many feeling sickened. Despite the overwhelming evidence stacked against him, DKane did what many accused predators do. He denied everything. And not just once or twice, he denied it repeatedly, in the face of evidence that any reasonable person would have accepted as proof.
After an argument. So yeah.
Younger girls?
Mm-hmm.
Younger than you, basically, allegedly?
Like a year or two. There's actually screenshots that I have when I was with him. I was laying next to him, and girls were arguing with me. And a freshman girl, that's a freshman.
Yeah.
That literally just became a freshman. And his 23-year-old ass was asking a girl for feet pictures.
He claimed he didn't know the ages of the girls he was messaging, a defense that rang hollow when paired with the screenshots that clearly showed otherwise. His excuses were flimsy at best. When confronted with the messages, he tried to deflect, saying they had been edited or manipulated. But the more he protested, the guiltier he looked.
Like 30 minutes to an hour until my mom finally got there and the cops got there.
Even when Pancho provided undeniable evidence like the messages matching DKane's phone number and Instagram account, DKane continued to argue. He insisted that he was the victim of a setup, a smear campaign orchestrated to take him down. But that defense didn't hold water. The evidence was right there, visible for everyone to see, and it only made his attempts to save face look more desperate.
And what does the date say right there?
What about it?
What about it? She's a high schooler, gang.
What about me saying that I stopped talking to her? Did you listen to what I said?
Next person. Let's continue right here. Next person, right? You calling this girl right here a wifey, right? She's 51 backwards. Oh, hold on. We'll go to Exhibit C.
Wait, go back to it. Go back to it. Go back to it.
Right here.
Go back to it.
Exhibit C.
Go back to it.
The white toe's doing it for me.
Yeah, where does she say her age in that? Where does she say her age?
60.
It didn't stop with one ex-girlfriend. As more women came forward, the story around DKane only got darker. Another ex-girlfriend revealed her own horrifying experience, detailing a night she'd never forget. It began as a heated argument, the kind of disagreement most couples might have. But when she decided she had enough and wanted to leave, DKane's reaction was nothing short of terrifying.
And go back to the other screenshot too. Go back to the other one. Go back to the other one.
Why are you asking this girl for?
Go back to the other one.
You don't even know her age.
Go back to the other one.
Hold on, Exhibit D.
Go back to the other one.
That's your contact.
Go back to the other two.
All right, I'm 17. You said you're 17, bro.
What does this prove?
You lied to a girl saying you're 71.
Instead of letting her go, he physically restrained her, refusing to give her the freedom to walk out. She was trapped in his house, unable to leave until things escalated to the point where she had to call the police. The most disturbing part? His grandparents were there, actively participating in this horror show. Instead of de-escalating the situation or stepping in to protect her, they took DKane's side, helping to keep her from leaving. The environment was toxic beyond belief. A twisted family dynamic where abuse and control seemed to be the norm.
I told him I want to be done. He was like, okay, give me my stuff back. But back. And I was like, okay. I was like, no. So he was like, okay. So he took my phone. So then I'm like, oh, all right. So then I grabbed the purse and I put it around me and I put my keys in there. And I was like, all right, as long as I have my keys, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I go to the closet and just start kind of packing my stuff. And then he comes behind me and then just like grabs me a little bit or whatever. And then I'm just trying to get out. And then I call for the grandparents' help and they come, but they're like telling him like to chill out. But then he tells them that he's not trying to let me leave. And they're like, we'll give him the stuff back and then we'll let you leave. So I got mad and I'm like, what? Like,
wait, but it was a gift though, right? For you?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it was all done in front of my whole family. I have a video. He went with my mom to go buy the ring. My mom even helped him, like, I think, with a little bit of the money.
The ex-girlfriend described the scene in harrowing detail. DKane and his grandparents standing together, creating a wall of intimidation to keep her from escaping. It wasn't just DKane being abusive, it was an entire household complicit in maintaining this hostile, controlling environment. And then there was the promise ring, which should have been a symbol of affection became a weapon of control. DKane had given this ex a promise ring during happier times, but now he was using it as leverage.
If that cops were involved, so y'all know.
Damn.
He demanded the ring back, and until she handed it over, he refused to let her leave. The situation spiraled out of control, with him blocking her path and creating a sense of physical threat. The desperation reached a breaking point, and law enforcement had to get involved.
15-year-old girl, bro. You want to fuck a 15-year-old girl, bro? You want to fuck a 15-year-old girl, bro? 27 years old, bro. You gonna give me my shit or not?
One final thing that I would like to add is that DKane broke up with his new girlfriend recently, and the reason why they broke up is because DKane put his hands on her, and she would show proof.
But this is just proof that cops were involved, so y'all know.
Damn.
But I'm not gonna...
She was also at DKane's house and trying to leave, but DKane wouldn't let her, so she had to sit at DKane's window and scream at the neighbors to call the cops.
This wasn't just about physical abuse. It was about emotional and psychological torment too. The ex-girlfriend described the chilling ways he controlled her. His methods were calculated, making sure she always felt trapped, always under his thumb.
No wonder DKane's always trying to be all freaky at the club, getting up on these like young girls. Nah, you're weird, DKane, bro. I thought you were different, bro. I thought you was a real member on the guys.
I don't take him serious.
Like, you don't even be banging for the set, bro. Like you into these young girls.
It was a web of manipulation and restraint, both literal and metaphorical. DKane crafted an environment where fear and anxiety were constants, an abusive ecosystem that he maintained with frightening precision. When Poncho's expose hit social media, DKane's downfall was swift. Everything unraveled, almost overnight. The interviews, the testimonies, the screenshots, it was all out there for the world to see. People who once followed him religiously now couldn't distance themselves enough. The support he once enjoyed from his fan base evaporated. Collaborators and fellow influencers wanted nothing to do with him.
My recent videos, LeBron.
It's not, because you would put it right here.
It's on my recent video. I can't post a whole screen recording of it.
Here.
It goes to your Instagram, it goes to your number, everything.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Now pull up the other two that you just showed though.
So here's the thing, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you. You can't win with people like you because you're just gonna keep arguing back and forth.
Chief among them was Logan Breezy, the very person who had propelled DKane to his fame in the first place. Low, who had roasted DKane into viral popularity, publicly denounced him. He made it clear he wanted no association with someone accused of such horrifying acts. It was a sharp and definitive break, and it showed just how far DKane had fallen. His most desperate attempt to salvage his broken career came in the form of an online beef with Fly Soldier of the Island Boys. It was a sad, almost laughable move, one that reeked of desperation. DKane tried to make himself relevant again by stirring up controversy, but it didn't work. The feud only highlighted how far he'd fallen.
You fucking a 15-year-old girl, bro. You want to fuck a 15-year-old girl, bro? You want to fuck a 15-year-old girl, bro? 27 years old, bro.
His engagement with Flyboy didn't revive his career. It just made him look even more pathetic. People saw right through it, understanding that this was a last-ditch effort from someone who was spiraling, grasping for anything that might keep his name in the spotlight. Today, DKane continues to post content, but it's a shadow of what it once was. He tries to stay relevant, the magic is gone. The charm, the humor, the bravado, all of it feels hollow now, tainted by the weight of what he's been accused of. He resorts to gimmicks, desperate stunts that only serve to highlight how irrelevant he's become. His reputation is beyond repair, yet he keeps trying as if he hasn't fully accepted that the internet has moved on.
Word already went around town. Bro, you're done with. After today, everybody's gonna start unfollowing you. You're with 16-year-olds. You're Didi. His ex was 16 as well. And DKane's 23.
Who's my ex?
If you guys don't know, DKane is not from El Salvador either.
DKane lied.
What's worse is that multiple sources have since confirmed that DKane lied about almost everything. His backstory, his gang affiliations, even his age, all fabricated. He built his brand on deception, and the house of cards finally came crashing down. The lies he once told to elevate himself only served to make his downfall more spectacular. it's hard to imagine anyone trusting him again, given the sheer volume of falsehoods he's been caught in. In the aftermath, what's left is a portrait of one of the most disgraceful figures to come out of TikTok. DKane isn't just someone who made a few bad choices. He's someone who left a path of destruction in his wake, harming people and exploiting his fame for his own selfish gain. The damage he caused, the lives he impacted, and the trust he shattered are indelible marks that won't be erased, no matter how hard he tries to stage a comeback.